I run the Christmas Island taxi service. My husband won a position here as Deputy Principal of Christmas Island District High. I was having 6 months leave. I had plenty of offers of people asking me to come work for them, but we thought I'd do something totally different. Taxis came to it only because we realised there was no taxi service here. And I thought, no, I don't want to be a taxi driver. I couldn't imagine myself as a taxi driver. But we took a plunge. Good morning, Island Taxis. No worries, I'll be up there in 10 minutes, okay? How are you going?
Just going to trucks, things.
Up to trucks, yep. With the taxi licence, because we deal with Commonwealth, you have to do your paperwork through the DOTAS Commonwealth and then get approval with the Christmas Island Shire. And also you had to get a T endorsement, which allows us to drive paying passengers around. So that was an area that I knew nothing about. My typical day is usually getting up in the morning, going out and checking the car for fuel, giving it a clean out. I usually end up cleaning the car about 3 or 4 times a day. Washing it. Washing gets done regularly, especially with the windscreens. Because we're an island, we get a lot of salt spray, so you're constantly washing the car that way. Checking your pouch for your money, making sure that's up to date and have enough money and change for people. And doing the paperwork, recording your fares. And of course, mechanical, checking water and oil. Yeah, I've had a few jobs since I left school. I've been really lucky in a way because I've learnt off the people that I've actually worked for. I think that's the bonus for me. I've worked at the fuel station. I had a great boss there, not just looking after the mechanic side, but actually doing all the finance in the workshop and doing the driveway service. Now I've got the taxi business. I'm able to do a lot of the servicing on my own cars. I worked for West Australia Netball Association as an administrator. That was an excellent job for me. There's a lot of things involved in that as far as not just financing and bookwork, but you're actually going and doing coaching development, going out to communities, organising functions and squads to go elsewhere, training areas and all that. So you had a whole diversity of different things you tap into and organise. And working with computers, I found it very simple to move into my own business area and set it up myself, the financial side and all that. I have 3 cars. We only have a population of most of the year around 1,000 people. I have about 6 other drivers that help me out. I've had to train the drivers and I make sure I choose the right person. Hi Pat, it's Therese here. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm just organising to see if you are right for next Monday. If you could do from 5 o'clock till that morning, I'll pick it up at about 6. Not too early for you? Thanks, Pat. Okay, we'll see you then. I think I'm pretty cheery myself and I love talking to people, so I sort of go for that as well as honesty and the same values as I do as far as the business goes. I've come to realise how careful and aware you need to be of other drivers. I mean, you do that anyway when you drive your car, but more so when you have passengers, being aware of other people and ready for anything that might happen. You know, someone might turn in front of you at the last minute or not put their blinkers on, and the spatial awareness around you becomes further out than what you normally would drive at in your own little car. We have a situation up the front. One of the road trains is backing up to pick up one of the containers because the ship's in. We just have to wait for him to sort of move off the roundabout area. Sometimes 4:30 in the morning you'll get a call, maybe just one call, and it might be only such a short distance that you have to go, but you have to get out of bed, get dressed and then go and do it and then come back. And of course, once you come back, you're sort of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It takes you a little bit longer to get back to sleep. Good morning, Island Taxis. Good, how are you? I'm actually out in the veranda doing an interview. And you're being filmed while I'm on the phone. Okay, I'll be there in about 10 minutes. Okay, see you then.
Hey, Dave.
Hi Rob, how are you going?
Yeah, good. Just food market, thanks. Always something to do. So the boat came in yesterday. They started unloading.
Fresh fruit and veggie for us all.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rose.
No worries, just $5 will do.
Thanks very much.
And you enjoy your day?
I certainly will.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
See you, Rob.
Hello.
Have a good day. One day I had a call from one of my customers, asked me if I could do a tour for them. And I said, well, we don't normally do tours, but I'm more than happy to take you out. So that's where it started from there. And now I do them when I can, in between the taxi business. Hi Deb, good, how are you? Good. The tours are fantastic. I love going out in the jungle. We have so much to offer here on such a small island. We're only about 18 kilometres wide by about 20 kilometres in length. I love doing the tours because I'm able to see the reactions that I had when I first come to the island, seeing things for the first time and think, oh, there's no place in the world that you'd be able to get so close to nature, and watching their responses when they actually see the red crabs, or I pick up a robber crab and present it to them, they're able to touch it. It's a bit like a turtle, a crayfish, a spider, unless they feel threatened. Yeah, very strong. I'm still holding quite firm.
The colours are incredible.
Yeah, and when you see the purple and blue colours, they're just a magnificent creature. Seeing their faces and their responses, that's a huge thing that I just love doing. It's great. During the migration season with the taxis, I try to be really careful with the red crabs. Even on the main roads in town, you've got to go very careful as not to crush them, because thousands of them get killed each year. See what I mean by the salts around this side of the island? That's why the vegetation has changed so much. And this side of the island is where William Dampier sent his crew along to get supplies for the ship. Depending on what kind of tour it is, if it's a history tour, I'll usually do a quick read of the history on the island, make sure I'm up to scratch with everything, and same with if I'm going out to the jungle, just so I know and aware of things and questions that might be fired at me.
So what area of the island is a national park?
68% of it, of the island is national park, so we're very, very lucky. And it's wonderful because I'm always learning. People ask me questions, and if I can't answer them, I'll get back to them. So it's always a learning process for both parties. They're getting to see something new, and I'm also finding out a little bit more about the island. You can see the imperial pigeon on the pawpaw tree. Have you spotted him? He's a beauty. He's feeding off the pawpaw. Yeah, we're very lucky as far as Christmas Island is concerned. We have the Chinese culture, we have the Malay culture, we have the Christian society, and we're very lucky with all those religions that we have from those cultures. They all get on tremendously, and that's another uniqueness about Christmas Island. In respect of the gods and everything, you must take your shoes off in any of the temples. This is just to thank the gods and be in respect. Whatever we take to the jungle, we return. We don't like rubbish anywhere, and we make sure people respect that, because anything that's left there can cause damage to the crabs. They might wander into a can or something like that and get caught, and then they can't get out. It makes you realise how bad we are as a throwaway society, seeing all this rubbish here and everything else. A lot of it comes from Indonesia. Currents just bring it in, and that's when it just gets washed up. And even while we're cleaning the beaches, there's still more coming in. Thongs, only thongs, little toys, plastic bits and pieces, wiring and stuff like that off boats, and debris and things like that as well. You'll often see the bosun birds flying around, the frigates, and booby birds nesting up the top, spider crabs, the moray eels. There's always something happening down here. When I'm really busy, I have to take out the tours, so I only do the tours if they're pre-booked and when I have other drivers to drive for me. Other than that, it's full-time taxi service, and being mum, of course. The hardest part for me is missing out on the value time I spend with my children. I really miss that, and they miss me. But they're great kids. I'm very lucky that way. I have a wonderful husband who's very good, and yeah, helps out as much as they can, and they always pitch in. But I'd love to eventually sell the taxi business and keep doing the tours, because it's something that I really enjoy doing. Where in the world would you find stuff like this and be so close to nature? We're just so lucky. Beautiful. Yeah, they'll just come round, they're not bothered by us at all. Put your hands out and hopefully they'll land on you. It's just something that I never thought I'd be doing. I could see myself becoming the tour guide of Christmas Isle. It would be nice to think that anyway. You can drink this water. If you finish your water bottles, when you come up here, just refill them and go with the fresh water home again. I'm out in the jungle, you know, like we're out at sea, in the middle of the ocean. I'd rather be here than in any city, anywhere. It's a relaxing environment. The people here are wonderful. Everyone's so friendly. It's not this hustle and bustle and we've got to go here and we've got to be there. It's like an extended family. Everyone helps out, everyone pitches in. It's a real community.